Let's begin with group 1, the highlighter. Wheel of Fortune. Okay, something fated is happening this week. Are my cards upside down again? I think they probably are. Let me go ahead and turn those all around. I don't do reverse readings. And that's partially because I'm lazy. When I have to remember all those meanings, guys. You're dealing with some obsession with an ex or an ex-friend or maybe a drug issue this week. If you picked group 1 and something fate is going to happen that's going to lead you to really want to stop doing that drug or whatever it is you're addicted to, whether it's your ex. I don't think it's not gonna be a bad thing, I don't think. It'll just be like something that just kind of wakes you up and makes you realize the person who you wanted is not who you thought they were, or you're just gonna realize you want something more from this life than drugs. And there'll probably be a powerful man influencing your decision to cut off ties with this person who was your ex, or to stop using this drug. It could be a father or an uncle that really pressures you to stop doing what you're doing, or maybe an older male friend, but definitely like an older man is like. But then for some of you, it could be that your ex is an older man who you feel like is a very domineering personality, but you're very attached to them anyway. It could also be for some of you that the drug is kind of like a domineering man in a way, like sort of pressuring you itself to keep using it, obviously. So that's it for that group. That's pretty heavy stuff, and I don't know. Tell me if I'm accurate or not about any of this stuff, guys. It doesn't apply. Everything that I said for group 1 does not apply to everyone who picked group 1, but it does apply to most of you who picked group 1. It's a general reading, so not everything will apply to you, but most of it will apply to you. Or at least some of it. You just have to figure out what parts apply to you. Okay, so you're doing a lot of healing this week, relaxation, picnics at the park, movies, reading, writing, music. Just you're doing a lot of like recreational activities to relax and like heal your mind from some kind of past trauma, something recent. But it's not going to work. Like, it's like you're doing everything you can think of to stop thinking about what happened to you, but it's just not working for you this week. You're just kind of like this week you're just going to be ultimately pretty depressed about your life and just feeling really unsatisfied. I'm really sorry, you guys. That's just what I'm getting. I don't know. Tell me if this is right, but if you feel like this is accurate at all or just nonsense. But that's just my gut, like my first thought when I saw those cards. I just tell you what my first thoughts are when I see the cards, which is basically just my intuition. So, you're gonna be feeling emotionally cut off at points, though. It'll be like you'll have moments this week where you're really depressed, but then you'll also have moments where you're like numb to your emotions this week. And your healing is just not going to be progressing at all this week. But that's mostly because you're just not really allowing yourself to fully feel the pain. You're kind of like doing all these things to distract yourself from the pain. And if you would just let yourself cry about it for a few hours or a whole day, then you would get over whatever the trauma is that's troubling you a lot much faster. And you'd be much happier in the long run if you would just let yourself cry it all out until it stops hurting, really. And I know you're worried that it's going to make you be more depressed, but actually it won't. Crying about it and dwelling on it until it stops hurting so much will actually lead to the opposite of what you're fearing. You're fearing that crying about it is going to lead you into a black hole you can't get out of. But if you'll just cry about it for the whole week, then you'll get over it much faster in the long run. And by the whole week, I mean if you'll just cry about it for this week, then you'll get over it much faster in the long run. And just keep crying about it whenever you feel the need to cry, and you'll get over it much faster. That's just what I'm getting. I don't know. That applies to most of you guys for sure who picked group 2. So let's move on to group 3. Here's group 3. Okay, the energy for meeting your twin flame or a soulmate is definitely really present this week for most of you guys who picked group 3. You're probably going to meet up with an ex or spend a lot more time than usual with your current partner, like doing a lot of romantic things at the beginning to middle of this week. But you're kind of, if you're the man in this relationship or the man in this interaction with your ex, then you are a very avoidant kind of personality in relationships. You don't really like to show a lot of emotions. You're the King of Swords, and that's going to cause a lot of trouble for you this week if you don't let yourself feel the emotions and really express your emotions fully. And you need to not be afraid to cry in front of the person you are in love with or in like with this week. It's really important that you show them how much you care, or you're going to push them away, and it'll cause a fight this week. Probably a really big fight. And I don't know, there might not be any coming back from it. It might end things permanently if you don't really show this person how much you care about them. But I think for most of you it will not end things permanently. I'm just saying that the possibility of things ending permanently could really be there. Like that energy is just really present for like a big fight for this week. Especially with July 4th coming around, and you would think that the holidays would be a time of celebration, and they usually are, but then for a lot of people, especially couples, a lot of times fights happen around holidays. A lot of times big fights happen around Christmas, July 4th, things like that. Ironically, and unfortunately, it's like the worst, but that's just kind of the way it is. It's like, I don't know, I think a lot of times we put this big expectation of having the best July 4th ever with our partner, and then somehow it kind of causes things to blow up because there's like all these tensions and emotions that we're not really expressing, and we're bottling things up. Like, you're the King of Swords, you're bottling things up too much, and like, don't say anything mean to the person, just like show them that you care. That's what I'm saying by expressing your emotions. I mean, you need to show them that you care a lot more than you are currently, because they don't really believe that you really truly love for them or care for them as much as they hope you do. And just like I said, it could lead to the end of the relationship, possibly permanently, if you don't fully express how much you care about this person to this person. Whether it's, I think it's an ex for most of you guys, but then for some of you it's a current partner. They're not feeling like they're getting as much emotional like support and attention from you. They're not really feeling like you're really showing them the full passion for them. They're just feeling kind of neglected, like you're not really expressing your emotions to them. And they're wondering if you really care about them as much as you say you do. Or they're wondering if you care about them at all if they're an ex. Because you're the King of Swords and you're such an avoidant person. You're very emotionally cut off. You're kind of a very practical person, and that's good, but a lot of times with really logic, like people who put a lot of emphasis on just being practical and grounded, a lot of times they're not in touch with their emotions and their intuition, and they push people away by how emotionally detached they seem. It can prevent you from having a good connection with someone if you're never emotionally vulnerable, or if you're always too afraid to cry because you want to be tough, or you think crying is weak. You're probably an Aquarius or a Capricorn, but you might be some other sign. Maybe I see a lot of Virgos as well, but it's just like you might not just be a water sign. This applies mostly to like water signs like Aquarius and like Capricorn cusp maybe, or like Virgos, or many of the earth signs. You're probably one of those. But it doesn't really matter what your sign is. The point is you're just an emotionally cut off person regardless of your sign. And obviously our sign doesn't determine everything about our personality, because I mean, we have different life experiences. So I'm just saying, this is really important if you're watching this for group 3. If you picked group 3, you really need to show the person you care about that you are truly, passionately in love with them. You need to buy them roses, take them out on the town. You need to do every corny, romantic thing you can think of to show this person how much you care. And don't be afraid to cry around them, and really tell them how much you love them. Write them a freaking poem. Like, I don't care. Like, the person that you like, they are dying to have you do something so freaking corny. Like, writing them a dumb poem. Like a dumb romantic sonnet. Like, they want something like that from you. They just want to know that you really care about them and that they're not like wasting their time with you. That they want to make sure that they're not spending their time with someone who doesn't care about them when they could be with someone who really shows how much they care about them. And I'm not saying that they don't love you or like you. That's not what I'm saying. In fact, they are in love with you. Or they do like you, at least. A lot. They at least like you a lot if you pick group 3. But I'm just saying, well, for most of you anyway, I can't really tell you what the person feels for you. Like, I don't do that. I don't really tell anyone if someone is in love with them or if they're just in like with them or whatever. So you have to determine what the person feels for you on your own. I'm just saying that for most of you, they probably at least like you a lot. For a lot of you, there's love there if you pick group 3. This applies to if you pick group 3. But like I said, I don't know what they feel for you, because this is just a group reading. I can't tell you on an individual basis what someone feels for you, and I would never do that anyway. Except for celebrity tarot readings, because, I mean, it's just kind of fun to speculate. But yeah, that's what I have to say, and just heed my words, guys, because you really don't want this to end. You got a really great thing here. Just be careful. That's all I have to say for this reading. Please let me know in the comments if this stuff actually happens at the end of this week, and if you feel like this reading was accurate at all. Thank you. Like and subscribe this video if it was helpful. I mean, like this video if it was helpful, and subscribe to my channel. Duh. What am I talking about? If you like this kind of content. And, I'm not just going to be doing tarot readings.